Good YouTube. This your man Spiel Dog. Man, I just heard some bad news about Jermal Charlo that he had I think a hit and run or something like that. And he had been drinking at the time. And I really wish I wish one of the OGs that's in the boxing game that's at a point where he could probably get Jermal Charlo to respect what he's saying, would go try to cuff that young man and give him some guidance. Cause I mean, for the most part, both of the brothers, man, they seem like for the most part, some cool young guys. They did what they had to do to promote themselves in boxing, and you gotta, it's a business, so you gotta sell yourself in boxing. So I think a lot of the antics that they used to do when they was coming up was just trying to get publicity and trying to get more people to watch their fights. But what I've been noticing over the last, even in my own family, I just take it there. People they make a lot of noise about drug abuse, but to me, from what I've seen in my family and with especially boxers, and mainly boxers and football players to some degree, man, the alcohol it does people worse than the drugs do, really, because alcohol is accepted everywhere. You know, when you go to these events and different functions or whatever, there's always alcohol around. If you have a drink, people look at that as harmless. And some people can really be social. There are people. My brother is a good example of that. My brother really don't drink. I don't drink at all, but my brother, if he out, he might have a beer, he might have a glass of a shot or two here there, but he might do that day. If he had a party or something, he might not drink again for 2 or 3 months, stuff like that. He'll buy alcohol, but it's mostly for his company. I got other friends and family members that if that alcohol in there, they gonna drink it until it's gone. And I just seen, I think, one, because how much it cost, and by it being so readily available, by the time people realize you got a problem, it's too late. If you out at a party and you had too much to drink, people so used to people being drunk, they really overlook it until it gets out of hand. And a lot of times that's how it gets out of hand. I really hate that he done got himself in this position, because he was really making some serious noise. He was right there for the fight Canelo at one point, when he was I think at 160, and I think he went to jail for something, and I think alcohol was involved at that time too. I look at Adrian Broner. He was another hell of a boxer. The youngest four division champion, I think, in boxing when he did it. And the alcohol ruined his career. It don't seem like drugs is what's bothering these kids. Look at Ryan Garcia. The only problems it look like he really having is alcohol abuse. I could just go on and on and on. And these are talented guys that's having this problem. I don't know what it is that makes some people be able to take a drink and stop, and others just go on and on and on. But I was one of those people that drank too much, and I had a real bad incident happen to me in a club one night, drinking too much, and I didn't stop then, but it wasn't long after that I left it alone, because I noticed how I could really get off my square. It wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. Drinking what, and then I will say sometimes something bad can have a good outcome. I have cancer, and when I first found out about it, when I went to the hospital and I had my first surgery, I didn't take it as serious. When it reoccurred and I had surgery again, and that was a long time ago, I left it. I quit drinking and never picked it up again. That was over, man, that was over 15, 20 years ago. It was a long time ago when I quit drinking. And I say the only reason it was easy for me because I stayed in the hospital so long. And after I got out of the hospital, I was in such bad shape for so long. It wasn't no way I could have drank or smoked or did anything like that going through what I went through. And once I got through the worst part of the health issues, I just made up my mind I wasn't going to do certain things no more. And when I see these young guys going through what they're going through, without, I don't know, I've never been to rehab, so I don't really know how that works out, but a lot of people I know, jail has, going to prison has saved a lot of people's life, whereas they was, got strung out on drugs or alcohol and end up getting locked up. And the ones who got a level head after they little stretch or whatever, and it don't have to be 5. You don't got to go for 5 or 10 years. If you're intelligent, 6 months to a year is long enough for you to be away from something that's been hurting you, for you to put it down and walk away from it. And these guys are, they financially very, very, stable. So money ain't no problem. And I mean, it's so readily available everywhere you go. Somebody, if it's any kind of function, I don't care wherever I have been, unless it's like a church situation or something like that, there's alcohol there. And it's real hard for somebody who got an alcohol problem to quit, more than likely without completely changing probably their whole surroundings, because if you out and doing, just going to dinner, people drinking, it's a lot of people that alcohol, man, I really believe it's worse than drugs. I honestly do, man. I mean, it just depends on where you come from. In the inner cities, Chicago, Atlanta, Gary, Indiana, the cities that I lived in and grew up in, some parts of Florida, they got liquor stores on every other corner, and it's killing it. It's just tearing the people up, a lot of the people up in the neighborhood, because they strung out on alcohol. Back in the early 90s in Chicago, they was giving guys a check every month, a disability check for being alcoholics. I mean, you can't make this up. Now, they eventually stopped, and you should have seen how the guys they used to be out there, just hanging around the liquor stores all day drinking vino, and the alcohol has crushed a lot of families, and the time they spend. I'm talking about cigarettes and some of the other stuff. This alcohol is the one they need to be trying to. It's the worst one out of all of them. Just think about how many DUIs we see every day out here, and yeah, we all are responsible for our own actions. But once again, when you make something so easily to get and so readily available, every other commercial you see on TV, they got liquor commercials. Every rapper just about got that's big in the game, got their own liquor. It's promoted everywhere all the time, and it's just, man, I really feel bad for the young man. I do, man, because he had a bright future ahead of him. He could have made millions and millions of dollars, and all that's probably finna go down the drain, and he gonna have to sit back and watch his little brother who been staying focused go out here and keep getting busy, cause Mel got, like Mel head on straight for the most part. He got if anything with him is probably anger management. He can be a little hot headed at times, but outside of that, he a hell of a fighter, and it seems like he clean. Seem like he don't. He seems like a clean fighter. I really hate to hear this about Charlo. I do, man. He was one of my favorite fighters, man. At one time, I thought he would probably would get Canelo up out of there. There was a lot of people I wanted to see him fight Benavidez, but I mean, it looked like that's over now. I think it's gonna be. I think the most important thing for him to do now is try to get control of whatever is, try to find some type of way to get control of that drinking. Seriously. The car he was driving. If the car I saw on the pictures, the car he was in, that car like it was hella fast. He could have got killed out there. That's just I say, man, I would hate to see the boy go out there and hurt himself or hurt somebody else. And then another thing, when you done been as high up on a food chain as he made in boxing, for you to start sliding back down, it gotta be, it ain't so. It's probably not easy to accept. It's probably hard laying there in the bed at night thinking, I should have been fighting Canelo, Benavidez, Demetrius Andrade, making all this money that was right there at his fingertips, and he let it get away. Sometime, man, he gonna need his brother and whoever else that's around him that he respect. He gonna have to keep some people close for a little while, and I really believe I wish he could get focused and just get back in the gym and just live in the gym, and get back to that boxing, but it may not, sometimes the stuff is easier said than done, who knows, maybe he don't want to train no more, maybe the alcohol or whatever has actually taken a toll on him. I don't know. It's been so long since we really have even really seen him like that don't really know, as not, unless the people that's closest to him, they would be able to answer that question better than anybody else. And it's just from where I'm sitting there, it's very unfortunate. I hope he can find the help he need, and whatever happened in this situation, I hope it's not nothing that's going, where he gonna have to do some time, or hopefully nobody got hurt or anything like that. I just hope this can be more of a learning experience than turn into some type of incarceration. Not saying that in some cases that could be a good thing, but if I'm not mistaken, he got a family, he got children. He need to be at home with his family if he had one, and he got. I still think he could possibly still get back in the ring. He can't get back the way he was, but he should be able to still go out there and earn him a good living. I would like to see him hopefully try to get, rejuvenate his career, and hopefully get back in the ring, man. If nothing else, just get in the gym and start training kids, or just stay in the gym and try to stay in a positive surrounding, drug and alcohol free environment, and hopefully he can find his way back, because like I say, man, he got a lot of talent, and he had a lot of things. He had a lot of big fights right there. That was right there at his foot. It's right there at his feet, and he letting it all slip away. Man, and I know he married, so I don't know nothing. I don't really know that much about his wife. But I would say this: he really need. This is when you need your better half, if you got one, to have your back and to help you get back focused. She needs to be a asset not a liability at this time, so hopefully he has that, because like I said, I know he married, and hopefully, maybe she the only one that might can really reach him, but somebody need to make him snap out of this whatever he going through and get back focused, cause it may not be completely too late. He probably will never get a Canelo fight or nothing like that, but then again, Canelo might just fight him just because he ain't, where he once was, and hey, if maybe he can get lucky and cash out like that or something like that, but he can't do nothing if he don't get back in the gym and stay out of trouble. So I just hope this is a minor incident and something that he can put behind him more sooner than later, and hopefully get back in the gym and try to regain some try to salvage his career to the best of his ability. But that's it for me on this video. If you like the video, hit the like and subscribe. Till next time, it's your boy Spill Dog. I'm out.